I was in denial for the first few years of my service. I filed for it as soon as I got out because I knew I had symptoms of it for sure. But I thought I would just work it out somehow. But after about 5 years of dealing with it, I really got to a breaking point after moving here to Colorado, where I had to enter into a inpatient PTSD program, where I sought a lot of help, and which really helped me a lot.
And did you go on the drugs that a lot of veterans talk about being prescribed?
I tried them, and then like I gave them an honest effort, and I felt awful on them. I felt like a zombie. I felt like not myself. I felt like not even like a human being. They were really, the side effects from the drugs were something that I couldn't live with.
These are not drugs you can stay on for a lifetime. They ultimately become more toxic than they are at the beginning, but at some point you have to quit taking them.
Well, they're not created to be taken for a long period of time either. They're created to help you through a small period of time and to counteract with other drugs. And once you're done with one drug, you get on another drug that has a different effect, and another drug that has a different effect. So imagine that there's this magical flower that was created, that someone could use to sustain themselves for the rest of their life. I mean, it's a no-brainer. I don't know why it's such a huge issue.
There are people who have smoked cannabis, used cannabis, essentially all of their adult lives.
Right.
When and how did you come to start using cannabis?
Well, I never even tried cannabis until I was about 23, and after I got out of service, and then I moved to Colorado, where it's obviously very prevalent. And I started using it recreationally, and then I started noticing that I was sleeping better, I had less anxiety, I was functioning better day to day, and that's when I realized that I need to look into using this to specifically, treat my PTSD. And ever since then, I've been, very functional and been very happy with using it. I was on medications for a very short amount of time. I realized that, they were not the right thing for me, and I realized that they were not something that I wanted to live with long term. So
you say you were only on the drugs for a very short time, but it took you a while to realize that cannabis was helpful. How did you deal with your PTSD in the interim between those two things?
Well, during the inpatient PTSD program, I found I was doing art before then, but I found that my art was very helpful with me, managing my PTSD and managing my stress and managing my issues. And like doing art was a big outlet for me. It allowed me to work through problems in a healthy way, rather than blurting them out in an unhealthy way.
This is one of your paintings we're sitting
Correct.
on.
Yeah, we're sitting in front of one right now. It just allowed me to work through these different issues. Like this one here is covered in 22s due to the 22 suicides a day that we're suffering right now with American veterans, and it's really sad.
Well, and if you calculate that, if you do the math, 22 suicides a day is about a little over 8,000 a year. Some people think that number is actually quite low. We lost a total American soldiers in combat. We have in Iraq and Afghanistan during the 14 years since 9/11. We've lost about 6,850 Americans in combat, and we're losing 8,000 at least a year to suicide. So this is a far greater tragedy than the combat itself.
There's a lot of veterans that just don't know how to deal with it. They don't have options to deal with it. Cannabis was a great option for me. It allowed me to sleep better. It allowed me to manage my anxiety. It allows me to manage these huge problems and bring them down to smaller problems, so they're manageable. So it was a great option for me.